This has got to be the biggest honkin' slice of chicken I've ever seen, but this is what you're gonna make for dinner tonight. We're gonna make one, and we're gonna take one too. We're gonna start out with 1.5 pounds of boneless, skinless chicken breasts in your crock pot, and then I'm sticking one in a freezer bag. This recipe is from our freezer expansion kit. It's week 14. It's the chicken and wild rice soup. So yummy. We're gonna put a squeeze of garlic into both bags. Then you're gonna do a ton of chopping. You need an onion, 1.5 cups of carrots, and some celery. It's a lot of chopping. I use this thing. It's the best thing ever. It's a little Black & Decker chopper. I don't think they make it anymore, but I love it. They'll make it go way easier. It is seriously time for me to get a new chopper. Y'all, this is pitiful. I made a big fat mess, but I'm almost chopped up. So now I'm gonna dump in my onion, a little bit of celery, some carrots, and then I added the same things to my freezer bag. Next, I'm adding in some mushrooms, 1.5 cups of wild rice. This was super hard to find. I found it over at I found it at Walmart. Next, you need 2 teaspoons of salt, a 1/2 teaspoon of pepper, 2 teaspoons of garlic powder, a 1/2 tablespoon of mustard, and then a 1/2 teaspoon thyme. This bag is done, and I'll go ahead and add it to my freezer. 6 cups of chicken broth for the one that I'm actually cooking today. 6 cups is about 2 cartons. Here we go. My crock pot is set. I'm gonna put it on low, and I'm gonna cook it for 8 hours on low, 8 to 10 hours. Next up, let's make some homemade bread. So good. This is my Hamilton Beach bread machine, and I love it. I don't put the bread on bread machine cycle. I put it on dough cycle, and that way I don't end up with a rectangle weird loaf of bread. I can bake it in the oven after the dough has prepped in the bread machine all day. You can find the recipe in our side series box. It's way back in the starch sides is where you're gonna find it. This one is so, so good. You need a cup of warm water, a tablespoon of milk, 2 tablespoons of oil. I'm using olive oil. Vegetable oil works too. I usually use vegetable oil. This was just all that I had. 2 tablespoons of honey, a teaspoon of salt, 3 cups of flour, a package of yeast. And then I'm going to change my cycle to cycle 8, which is the dough cycle, so that I end up with a loaf of dough. And I'll also set a timer so that it cooks later in the day. At the end of the day, I'll go ahead and do these final steps. I'll need some milk, and then I'll kind of do some things to fix the chicken. I'll try to take a video of that so you can see what it looks like later today. The bread will also be ready then, so I can pop the dough in the oven, and dinner is done, plus a make one, take one meal for someone else or for the summer. If you were like me and struggle with making dinner, y'all, these have been so good. Let me know which ones you try. Let me know if you're gonna make this one for dinner tonight. I can't wait to hear from you. Have an amazing day.